It's Wednesday morning. Welcome to the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at the Car Giant Renault. We're live and interactive every morning around now, and if you'd like to get in touch, you can email us at spy@mirror.co.uk, tweet us at Football Spy or at Mirror Football, and of course, you can post on YouTube later this morning. We start with the papers, and you have to hand it to Alan Pardew at Newcastle. For so long, it's looked as though Sunderland were going to snap up the free-scoring Senegal striker Papiss from Freiburg. We've talked about him a few times on the show before, but yesterday Newcastle came in from the clouds to give him a 5.5-year deal. He's 26, he's scored 9 goals in 15 games for his club in the Bundesliga this season. This is the Times. The fee is around £10 million for him, and although he now flies out to the African Cup of Nations, where he's going to form a formidable partnership alongside Demba, Newcastle fans will get a chance to see how that front pairing will look when the players return to St James's Park. Elsewhere, lots of big players linked to some very big clubs, but for Arsenal fans, some things never change. Arsenal won't be spending this January, according to The Sun. Never mind Christopher Samba, never mind Lucas Podolski, and never mind the striker to give Robin van Persie some backup when Thierry Henry goes back to the MLS. There will be no new players at Arsenal this January, according to The Sun. Good luck in that hunt for 4th place, Arsenal fans. Mark Hughes wants new players at QPR, and if he were to land the Spurs keeper Gomez, I don't think too many Rangers fans would be upset. He's a very capable keeper, but he isn't getting a look in at Spurs because Brad Friedel's come in and done so well. What's not in the Mirror Football story that we can tell you is the fact that Gomez is a client of the businessman Kia Jarabchin, who, as it happens, is the agent of a certain Mark Hughes, so watch that particular space. Just running you through a few more stories around Planet Football, and the German Daily Bild is reporting today that the Man United reserve striker Mame Diouf is a target for Hannover 96. Talks said to be already at an advanced stage between the German club and the players' representatives. The International Business Times is reporting that the agent of Eric Abidal at Barcelona says that the veteran French defender will never sign with Arsenal following news that he's already extended his contract at Barcelona. And the Newcastle Chronicles say today that the 24-year-old defender Ali Sissoko, who's a left-back, a big target for the club, wants to leave Lyon and admits that he is just waiting for the green light to get out of the League One club. Another story before we move on. The Lancashire Telegraph are saying today that Blackburn are confident of completing a loan move for the Bordeaux striker Anthony Modeste. He's 23 by the end of the week. You're watching the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at the Car Giant Renault. Still to come on the show, Andriy Arshavin, Fernando Torres, and news on Didier Drogba. But first, we told you on Monday that we'd keep you up to speed with our men on the ground around the country, and today we're as good as our word. The excellent Greg O'Keefe is the Liverpool Echo's Everton writer, and he's waiting to speak to us now. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Hi, Darren. There's been some interesting rumours kicking around Goodison Park this week, actually. Not all of them taking much notice of the fact that Everton, as ever, don't have a lot of money to spend. Nevertheless, the signing of Darren Gibson seems to have sparked a bit of excitement and they've got the rumour mill swinging into action. So the one that's probably got Evertonians most interested is a link which suggested that they're going to go and try and get Solomon Kalou, the Chelsea striker. Solomon's out of contract, we believe, in the summer, and therefore would perhaps mean Chelsea might want to do business at a reduced fee. A reduced fee is always good news for Everton and always attracts David Moyes if he thinks he can get a bargain. That's the sort of market he has to operate in. And while Kalou hasn't exactly done the business in terms of goal scoring regularly for Chelsea in the last few seasons, you've got to take into account that he hasn't played as frequently as I'm sure he would like. And if you look at his goal scoring ratio in Holland, he was pretty prolific. So it's the biggest problem for Everton at the moment. No goals, and Kalou could well be an option. I'm sure it's someone that Everton fans will get excited about. Of course, it'll all hinge on quite what fee Chelsea wants, regardless of his contract being imminently ending, and his personal terms. Everton don't have a lot of leeway on personal terms because, as I mentioned, there's not a lot of cash flowing around Goodison, so a lot will rest on that. Another name linked to the Blues is Nedum Onuoha, the Manchester City defender. And it's another interesting one because Nedum's quite a flexible defender who can play off the left back, right back role, or a central defender. He's big, powerful, athletic, very much in the mould of a David Moyes type player. Now, Everton have got a horrendous run of injuries to the core of their central defence at the moment. So much so they had to put an untested 20-year-old in against Spurs at halfway through the game last week, and he started against Villa on Saturday. He'd be a great signing, but I noticed that one of the reports that was linking Everton with Anua was putting the £4 million price tag into the bracket. Now, as I mentioned, Everton aren't going to be able to do business at that sort of fee unless they sell. If they sell, and people who might be on the way out are the Russian winger Demba and Papiss, that could all change. But so far, I'd imagine someone like Anua would only be a goer if money's coming into Goodison Park first. And just lastly, there's the striker Edson Buddle. He's a New Yorker who formerly banged down a lot of goals for the LA Galaxy and had a great partnership with Landon Donovan. Obviously, the American striker is on loan at Goodison at the moment. Everton are going to take him over for a trial towards the end of this week and next week. Have a look at him and see if he's got any qualities that can enhance their really woeful goal scoring ratio at the moment. He's a big guy, he's powerful, and he does have a goal scoring record that is worth considering. Now, we believe he had the trial at West Ham last week. Not much has come of that, and he's currently playing in the second tier of Germany for a team called Ingolstadt 04. So whether that suggests that he's got the calibre and overall quality to mix it in the Premier League, that's up for debate. But I'm sure David Moyes has thought he's got nothing to lose by taking him over to Merseyside and running the rule over him. Well, that's about it really for our transfer rumours. Thanks.
The excellent Greg O'Keefe, and you can follow Greg on Twitter at Greg OK. For more information, log on to liverpoolecho.co.uk/EFC. Now you can find this story in today's Daily Mirror. The Italian giants Lazio want Andrei Arshvin from Arsenal in a cut price deal. The man who wrote that story is with me now. Good morning to the Daily Mirror's John Cross. Tell us more, John.
Good morning. Well, I have to say, I think most Arsenal fans would really think that Arshvin is a brilliant talent, but hasn't really performed of late. He's got 18 months left on his contract, so the question for Arsenal is, I don't think really a new contract, so it's whether they sell now in January or wait until the summer when sort of kind of his value will be even less. My guess is that they'll probably ride it out and wait until the summer, because if they don't do too much in the window, they'll leave themselves painfully short actually if they get rid of Arshvin now.
Interesting one, because they bought him in January as well, didn't they? And lots of people talk about the folly of bringing in players during the January transfer window.
Yeah, 3 years ago it was a huge deal at the time, £12 million plus really, and I think he's had a good season. I think he's been disappointing largely. I think his work rate doesn't really fit into the Premier League. I think on the flip side, he would argue that he's not a wide player. He's a playmaker through the middle.
Sure.
And we saw him. He's a genius player. He's absolutely fantastic. You know, we've seen clips of him for Russia, of course, and bits and pieces for Arsenal. I just don't feel that Arsenal's system particularly works for them, as was highlighted on Sunday at Swansea.
Okay, now, this back page headline we talked about already, Arsene Wenger refusing to spend. I'm sure lots of Arsenal fans are not going to be too happy about that, given the problems you've had, 3 defeats in your last 6. I should point out that John is an Arsenal fan.
No, don't point that out. Professional journalist.
What's your reaction to that back page?
Well, I just feel that Arsenal fans will be, as I've been reading on Twitter this morning, up in arms about it really. And Inside Stephen Howard does a big piece on why this could be the end of an era for Arsene Wenger.
Do you agree?
Which is a big statement. No, I don't really. I do still think that Wenger has done enough to gain respect and to be judged at the end of each season, if you like. We're not in the business here of making quick judgments on a guy who's led the club to such great success. But what I would say is that I think he's making a huge mistake by not strengthening the squad in January. To even try and scrimp and save not to bring in a lone left back is just ridiculous for a club of Arsenal's stature.
I mean,
because they haven't got to fit one at the club.
Well, I joked earlier about good luck in the hunt for 4th place, but do you think that puts that in jeopardy as far as Arsenal are concerned?
Yeah, I think it'll be a massive battle. Said before that I think if Wenger, bearing in mind the turbulent summer they had, the sticky start, players leaving, the squad in disarray, if you like. The way he's put it all back together and rebuilt and regained the sort of confidence of the team. If they finish in the top four, it'd be a massive achievement.
Sure.
Yes, they've still got a chance, but you'd have to say on current form and looking at the table as it is at the moment, Chelsea would be favourites for fourth.
Okay. Just away from Chelsea, this is on the back page of the Daily Express. The new PSG boss Carlo Ancelotti saying that Chelsea should sell Didier Drogba. Do you agree with that? He's also saying in this piece that he's been offered Fernando Torres from Chelsea. First of all, do you agree with what he's saying about Drogba?
Well, the motive there for Ancelotti to say that is to get rid of Drogba, to give Torres a clear run, so that would give him more confidence that he was the main man. Frankly, if you're Fernando Torres, you cost £50 million. If a £50 million striker cannot deal with pressure and expectation, then there is something seriously wrong. And I think the question should be of Torres rather than Drogba. Drogba, in his day, was one of the best strikers we've ever seen in the Premier League. He ruled the Premier League when he was at his absolute peak, as Chelsea were at their peak as well. He's a striker on the wane, but I still think he's got something to offer. Should they offload him now? No, they should give him a new contract.
Okay. Overall, do you believe that Chelsea will finish ahead of Arsenal purely because they do seem to have a more settled squad? Arsenal at the back look a bit like lots of injuries, and up front, very reliant on Robin van Persie.
Yeah, I think Arsenal would probably, in my mind, if they had their first choice 11 out, beat Chelsea on current form and strength. But the one thing that Arsenal don't have is any depth to the squad. Bakary Sagna's not too far away. Jack Wilshere is quite close. Ireland will play on Sunday, but I still think that Arsenal lack quality backup in key areas. The biggest deficiency in the squad, I think, is up front. Yes, Thierry Henry has been made an emergency sort of signing, if you like, but he's now got a calf injury, which he's done in training. He's struggling for fitness for Sunday, and you can see it. He's 34. He's not the player he was. To think of him as proper backup for Robin van Persie is just laughable, frankly, and they've left themselves hopelessly short up front.
After all that, score prediction for Sunday. Are you going to win against Manchester United? I won't put you on the spot of the score prediction, but will you win?
Or I'm going to sit on this fence right here and say it's going to be a draw. I think Arsenal will have a point to prove. I think they did particularly well against Man United last season, and they'll be up for it, particularly after the 8-2 defeat at Old Trafford, so they'll be fired up for it. But I still think that United will expose some Arsenal defensive frailties.
Okay. Thanks, John. We look forward to hearing more from John Cross as the transfer window reaches its conclusion. A couple more stories for you before we go. Mark Hughes has told Sky Sports that the Chelsea defender Alex has a big decision to make regarding a move to QPR. Alex has been insisting that he'd choose between PSG and a move back to Brazil, but Mark Hughes has obviously made him an offer he's finding it hard to refuse. We'll see if he's able to. Bolton have been told to up their £4 million offer for the want-away Spurs forward Giovanni Dos Santos. That's in the Daily Mail. And go to the Mirror Football website and you'll find details of the super-rich Saudi side Al Hilal's move for the Stoke striker Kenwyne Jones. That's it for this Wednesday morning. Rob's on the early shift in the office to bring you up to date with all of the latest breaking transfer news. The Football Spy Show is back in the morning. I'll see you next time.